Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. The SMG meta here in Warzone 2 after the Season 3 Reloaded update is extremely competitive. Obviously, there were several changes made with the overall TTK against armor with some of the SMGs with Season 3, and so ever since then, we've seen a lot of the top options shifting around from update to update. And so today, we are breaking down the top 5 best SMG loadouts to be running right now. And starting first here at number 5, I've got the MX9, which quite frankly is slept on a little bit for good reason, mostly for not good reason, right? Like, this thing is actually very impressive. Its close range TTK is right up there with the other SMGs on this list, and its mid-range TTK is also very impressive. The thing is here, the reason that people do sleep on it is because the magazine capacity is rough. Our extended mag here is 32 rounds. So for solos, it's great. For duos, you could maybe get away with it. For trios and quads, you have to be a higher skill player to really thrive with this weapon. There is an added skill gap because of this extended mag, so you definitely got to be mindful of your ammo here. But when you land your shots, the MX9 is actually very impressive. But obviously 32 round mag on here. I got the Q900 rear grip. This is for better ADS and sprint of fire, and we're tuning to match that. This thing already has fantastic mobility as a base weapon. A lot of the setup is going to help enhance that even more, make it a super aggressive SMG. Just behind the face cam, I've got the C11 riser comb stock here, and we're going to be tuning this for some better ADS speed and a little bit of stabilization. You could also go for the strafe speed if you wanted to. There's no wrong answer there, but this is going to give you that better ADS and sprint to fire as well, yet again making it even more aggressive, right? I hate the AUG iron sights. They are really rough in my opinion, so I go for the Chrono Mini Pro here, your basic blue dot. We tune for that furthest eye position and faster ADS. Then lastly, I go for the S901 barrel. This is going to help out with our movement speed, but also our range as well, which is super nice. So extend that first damage range a tad bit there while still being nice and fast and nice and agile, right? We do tune for better mobility here as well. So definitely a slept on gun, an SMG though that can hold its own if you know what you're doing with it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, 4 through 1 on this list is probably the hardest it's ever been in terms of deciding what I think is 1, what I think is 2, based on all the stats and all the data here. And so quite frankly, I think 1 through 4, you could probably make an argument that all of these could be the number 1 SMG, just depending on how you want to use them. For instance, at number 4 right now, I've got the MP7. That said, this thing's mid-range TTK is phenomenal. It is so easy to use. Its close-range TTK is still very competitive. It's got the mobility as well. Like, it's checking all the right boxes. It's just the fact that there's also 3 other SMGs that are ridiculously good at the same time. But here initially on the MP7, I'm starting with the 50 round extended mag. This is definitely worth jumping up to from 40 because the cons here are going to be super minimal after all the updates they've done to make extended mags less harsh, basically, when it comes to their cons. I've got the soldier rear grip, better ADS and sprint to fire per usual with tunes to match that. I also go for the RXT stock. This is for better sprint speed, better ADS speed. We're tuning for a bit of mobility there, then also some stability for the mid-range because this does really thrive there. 7 milliwatt laser for that better ADS and sprint to fire as well, making it even more aggressive, and yet again we are tuning to enhance that even more. And then just for some stability here to keep the weapon easy and basically stress-free, I would say, I go for the KT85 compensator. We tune for some better gun kick control, then a better ADS speed as well, so we gain some of that back. This thing is a laser. Like, even though I have it at the number 4 spot, like I said, you can make an argument for this being number 1. It absolutely fries. Now, you guys know how I feel about the P90. I have been gassing this thing up for months at this point because this thing is incredible. You can tune this for all mobility essentially and have this thing flying and frying. Why is it at number 3? Because its first 10 meters or so are just a little bit lacking compared to number 1 and number 2. And I feel like SMGs, obviously that first 10 to 12 meters is that prime spot you need to be dominating with. So this though, because of how good the mid-range is, because of how easy it is to use, because of how fast it is at the same time, again, an argument can be made for perhaps being number 1. But here the setup hasn't changed all that much. We're going for the light rail. This is going to give you even better movement on top of a weapon that's already very fast, and we're tuning for that better sprint speed and sprint to fire speed as well. Q900 rear grip, better ADS and sprint to fire with tunes to enhance that even more. Behind the face cam, we've got the TV TACOM comb attachment, and guess what? This also helps out with that ADS and sprint to fire. We got tunes to enhance the mobility even more. But we're not done with the mobility yet either. We got the 7 milliwatt laser on here for the better ADS and for the better sprint to fire, and we got tunes to match that too. So this thing, just between those 4 attachments, is going to be insanely fast compared to all the other SMGs, even the pistols. This thing flies. And then again, just like on the MP7 for the mid-range, to keep it a little bit consistent, I go for the KT85, tune in for the gun kick control, some stabilization here. If you wanted to go for the ADS, you could also do that. No wrong answer yet again, but this thing is by far my favorite SMG and ridiculously competitive in this current SMG and close range meta. Now, as we get into our final 2 spots here, quick reminder, if you guys are new to the channel, every single day I got you covered with absolutely everything going on in COD, whether it is news, updates, loadouts, tips, you name it, it's all going to be right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, and if you guys enjoy the video, let me know by dropping a like on it as well. Would be seriously appreciated. Let's try and aim for 1,500 likes on this one. Now at number 2, I've got the MP5, and quite frankly, you could flip-flop 1 and 2 here, and I don't think there'd be that many arguments because each of these guns is so deserving right now. They are so good in this current meta, but the MP5 here has got it going on. It is aggressive, it is fast, especially with this build here. Its TTK in the first 15 meters or so is very, very fast. It's pretty easy to use in terms of the control. It's got good hip fire. It's doing everything right. So initially here, I go for the 40 round next to the mag. You could jump up to the 50 if you wanted to. It'll just be a little tiny bit slower, but that's totally personal preference. I go for the TCG10 rear grip. This is straight up better control. There's no ADS and sprint to fire rear grip here. So this is what we're gonna have to do and sort of have the makeshift version of that, because obviously we can tune for the better ADS and better sprint to fire, right? I've got the mirror recoil 56 stock on here for the better control, better sprint speed. Just makes this thing a little bit easier to use, and the cons here are pretty minimal or pretty irrelevant in most cases. 7 milliwatt laser for that better ADS and sprint to fire yet again with tunes to match like always. And then lastly, the Falcon barrel. It's going to speed us up even more, better movement speed, better ADS speed. You'll love to see those pros on an SMG. And the cons of velocity and recoil control are not going to be that big of factors in the fights that we're taking with the MP5, right? So this thing also flies and fries, feels ridiculously good. This is one of the top used SMGs in ranked right now. The thing is overall fantastic. And of course, by process of elimination, you might have seen this one coming. At number 1, I've got the Vaznev. That said, like I've said many times throughout this video, the MP5 could be here, the MP7 could be here, the P90 could be here. The SMG meta is phenomenal right now, but the Vaznev to me, because of how fast its TTK is in those first 10 to 12 meters or so, how easy it is to use, the aggression on it with the mobility and everything, those are the main factors of an SMG, and this really shines in all those categories, right? So definitely the most reliable SMG choice, at least in my opinion, but there are stats to, favor pretty much everything right now. So here, 45 round Cinemag, pretty basic. It's your only option as well. True tack rear grip, better ADS and sprint to fire yet again with tunes to enhance that. I go for the Atrazat stock, better sprint speed, better aim walking speed. So 2 really solid pros there. That strafe is especially nice with tunes, even better for that aim walking speed and then also ADS speed. Olay laser, yet again, no surprise here. Better ADS, better sprint to fire, tunes to enhance. And then lastly, because the damage drop off here is a little bit sooner than what you might see on a P90 or an MP7, the Cast 1 barrel will help extend that damage drop off, that first range a little bit, which is always nice to see. Also gives you some better velocity and hip fire accuracy. Not huge important there, but it's something, right? And then obviously we're tuning for the better mobility here as well. So Vaznev right now, fantastic choice. It's why you see so many pros using this in ranked right now. This and the MP5 I think are like the top 2 chosen, so absolutely deserving of the number 1 and number 2 spots. That being said, those are the top 5 best SMGs in Warzone 2 right now, and that's gonna wrap things up. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it, and if you're new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications to always stay up to date with all things going on in COD. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.